This is the Phillies POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
My third grade teacher's name was Mrs. Lyons. She was fantastic. She let me and my friend put on a show at the end of third grade, the last day of school. I'll never forget Mrs. Lyons for that. And I'm sure Mrs. Yeager did the same thing. Did the absolute same thing for Lou Trevino. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the show. This is Locked On Phillies POSTCAST on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. It's great to have you along for the ride. My name is Mark Farzetta. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. That start for Aaron Nola was a sight for extremely sore eyes. 9 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits, no hits through 5 1/3. I'll get to that later. He was perfect through 5 1/3 even. He was fantastic. And like I tell you all the time, and I know you know by now, but when he's got that great run on that sinker, he is just a force to be reckoned with. It's just that we all know it's few and far between that we actually see that run. The velocity was also up tonight. Saw 94 a couple of times. Saw 93 a bunch. That's great to see from Aaron Nola to set up another pitch that he was using quite a bit as his put-away pitch tonight, and that was the knuckle curve that was dropping down beautifully throughout the evening. Such a sight for sore eyes for Aaron Nola. Now, when it comes to the offense, I know a lot of people are going to be looking at runners in scoring position, which, again, today, hit lists with runners in scoring position. This time, unlike last night where they were 0 for 10, this time they were only 0 for 4. So you can't not get a hit with a runner in scoring position if you don't have that many runners in scoring position. So there you go. Brilliant, Phillies. But bottom line, Kyle Schwarber, unfortunately, did not go yard again tonight. Records are meant to be broken. And if he gets to 58, which now he needs 2 in 2 games remaining, well, that would be amazing. If he gets to 59, that'd be incredible. If he gets to 60, we'll all do cartwheels down Broad Street. I find myself pulling for him to hit those home runs when he steps up to the plate. And unfortunately, homerless tonight. So Kyle Schwarber remains at 56 home runs so far on the season. 2 shy of Ryan Howard's club record of 58 set in 2006. I will say, I don't think this conversation will be had or said just because it's so unbelievably in favor of Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard hit .313 that year, and he got on base at a clip of .425 for his on-base percentage. Yeah, that was a pretty good season, to the point of being the MVP of the league, for crying out loud. So, yes, that season was certainly better than what we're seeing now from Schwarber. But power number-wise, I'd love to see him to get to 58. Hey, I'd like to see him get to 57. I'd like to get to 60. Why not? But unfortunately, the long ball, other than Edmundo Sosa tonight, wasn't happening for the Phillies, as we have seen with some regularity in this homestand. When you look at the defense today, Bryson Stott just had one out of his reach there, unfortunately, in the 3rd inning, I believe it was. A couple of plays he was able to make today. Shortstop today. Edmundo Sosa all over the place. Really, I was impressed by what you saw defensively from this team, so that was also something good. Jhoan Duran came in to get the save, his 32nd overall on the season, including his time with the Twins. But 3 people really had fun with tonight. One was Kody Clemens. The other was Harrison Bader. And then the guy that was having fun until home plate umpire Jimenez was behind the plate tonight, Edwin Jimenez, yes, decided he had no idea what a strike was anymore. And even in that 8th inning against Aaron Nola, I noticed he started to get a little bit more tight with the strike zone. Didn't like that. And then with Jhoan Duran pitching to Vazquez, who unfortunately tonight had the only run of the ball game there for the Twins, he gets him in a 2-strike count, and for some, I'll use the word dumb reason, a pitch on the outer half of the plate should have been strike 3, sit down, see you later, but unfortunately it was ball 2. Vazquez ends up coming up there later in that at-bat, ends up getting a base knock for himself there for a single to left field, a 2nd hit of the game, or 3rd hit of the game, I think it was. And then a little bit of a back against the wall type of situation there for Jhoan Duran. Was having fun when he was up in that count, unfortunately. And then as things started to even out, there was the 1-2 splitter that he threw on the outside corner that got every bit of the outside corner. I'd even say that maybe half or more than half of the ball was on the outer half of the plate, not just the outside corner. That was a 1-2 splitter called a ball, and then on the 2-2 pitch, he throws another splitter, this time inner half of the plate and down in the zone. Vazquez is able to put a good swing on it. He puts it in the left field for a leadoff base hit. He then strikes out Buxton. He strikes out Clemens. Jeffers gets the single to center field. Now everything's getting a little bit tight, and he's got runners on first and second, or should be first and third. And he gets Larnach to fly out to right field to end that. A high fly ball to Nick Castellanos in right field. But Harrison Bader definitely had fun tonight, beating out that ground ball on the infield for that infield single. That was pretty awesome. And then Kody Clemens certainly going around hugging some of his old teammates. That was great. And you could see that they were very excited to see him as well. But you know who else had fun tonight? The Phillies fans. Oh, and you know who else? Mrs. Yeager, who got to say hi to her former third grade student. But all the good times there at the ballpark, and also just seeing Joe Underrun come in. That was a lot of fun. But let's get into it right now when we talk about our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
The tone was set from early on. An 11-pitch first inning for Aaron Nola. You could tell he was locked in, especially on a 3-pitch strikeout to Kody Clemens. Got him for his first strikeout victim of the evening on the knuckle curve. Again, just 3 pitches, not too bad. For the second consecutive night, by the way, Alec Bohm steps up in the first inning, gets you your first run of the ball game. This time, again, not a hit, not a bouncer up the third baseline on a G5, but this one, a F9 to bring in Kyle Schwarber after he got an infield single earlier in the inning. You're up 1-0. Schwarber scores from third on the Alec Bohm sacrifice RBI to right field. Then look at this, another 1-2-3 inning there for Aaron Nola, including his second strikeout of the night. This one coming by way of the 1-2 sinker that got Julian just looking, tailing in at him, but still on the inner half of the plate for a second strikeout of the game. An 11-pitch first inning, a 10-pitch second inning for Aaron Nola. We're off and running. Third inning, he goes out there, another 1-2-3 inning. This time his third strikeout of the game. He gets Outman to strike out on a 2-2 changeup. See you later. An 11-pitch inning, a 10-pitch inning, this third inning, an 11-pitch inning. Catch a trend? Then in the fourth inning, he's already got 2 outs in his back pocket already. He faces Jeffers. He gets him looking at the 2-2 knuckle drop away. 14-pitch inning. That's a workload for Aaron Nola tonight. Fifth inning, he gets through that one again, no problem. He had a 3-2 knuckle curve down. And for this strikeout on Julian, he became the second all-time. He became number 2 all-time for the Phillies. That's the history he makes tonight. He is now number 2, only behind Steve Carlton of your Philadelphia Phillies. Aaron Nola passes Robin Roberts. He had passed Cole Hamels earlier in the year at 1844. Robin Roberts was at 1871. And now Aaron Nola, after tonight, he got 4 more strikeouts after this one. He is now at 1,876 career strikeouts, obviously all with the Phillies. He is now only 1,155 behind Steve Carlton. So there we are. How about that? In that fifth inning, though, he used the knuckle curve on the 3-2 pitch to get out of that one, to get Julian, and he got him. Then in the sixth inning, he was only at 58 pitches when he started out that inning. He got Lewis to ground out to third. He got Outman on a little comebacker. Smooth, almost Ranger Suarez-esque coolness from Aaron Nola being able to get that out there for the second out of the inning. And then with 2 outs, Aaron Nola loses his perfect game, loses his no-hitter, loses his shutout with 1 sinker that just got a whole hell of a lot of the plate. And Vazquez parked it 358 feet. Bit of a wall scraper to left field. 2-1 ball game now, still in favor of the Phillies. But that was the first hit for the Twins, unfortunately, in that one. It also ends 26 straight innings by Phillies starting pitchers. 26 straight scoreless innings by Phillies starting pitchers. That's amazing. And then he got another punch out right after that. He got a 2-2 changeup on Buxton. Sit down, sir. See you later. Seventh inning, he gets his final 2 strikeouts of the game. This is what really impressed me. Seventh inning, he gets the leadoff. This is my favorite part of Nola's start. Clemens leads off with the triple. Bader had a little issue getting to it in center field, shaded over towards right a little bit. But he got a leadoff triple. Jeffers strikes out chasing a high fastball. 7th strikeout of the night for Aaron Nola. Leonard goes up there. He strikes out an 0-2 sinker. 3-pitch at bat, sits him down, and then he gets Lee to fly out to left field. That was my favorite inning for Aaron Nola. And then there was another part during the night where he went down 3-0 in a count, fought his way back to 3-2, and was able to get the punch out as well. He got Julian looking at a 3-2 sinker away when he started the 8th inning with 80 pitches. Then he got Lewis to ground out to second, and then he got Altman to fly out to left field, and that was the last batter he faced. And he walked off the mound in the field to great jubilation in the Citizens Bank Park faithful. A 10-pitch 8th inning. Good for him. Unfortunately, the home run keeps his ERA above 6 on the season overall. But look, this was not a good year for Aaron Nola. It's going to be hard, I believe, for this Phillies pitching staff to not have him on the postseason roster. He's going to be on the postseason roster. Right now, I mean, this is great. I love to see this from him, but, I mean, do you trust him? Was he going to be the guy that breaks up your righties? Or excuse me, your lefties? Is he going to be the righty that breaks up your lefties? No. I don't. That's going to be a difficult one. But right now, you got Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo. Got a lot of lefties there. Is Nola going to be the guy to break that up? Walker Buehler, Taijuan Walker. What's the direction the Phillies go there? I would think it would take a lot of confidence in the Phillies that the Phillies would have in Aaron Nola to have him start a playoff game. He just hasn't had it this year. And when he's had it, it's been fleeting. So it's like, okay, well, this was a bad start. So I guess we're going to have this is a good start. So I guess we're going to have 3 really good starts in a row, really bad starts in a row. The inconsistency is what kills you. As far as the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
In that 6th inning, Vazquez gets the solo home run, makes it a 2-1 ball game. Phillies needed a little bit of more run support to tack on 1 or 2 more. In that 6th inning, Alec Bohm leads off by beating out a bouncer up the third baseline again. This time he's able to beat that one out there. He goes from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count. Barely gets enough contact on it to put it up the third baseline. He beats out the throw that pulled the first baseman there off the bag a wee bit. So now you got to run around first, nobody out to lead off the 6th inning. Brandon Marsh then steps up, puts one in the right field corner. They have trouble getting to it, and somehow, magically, the non-fleet-footed Alec Bohm scores from first base on this one. 3-1 game. That made me feel pretty safe and secure, especially with the way Aaron Nola had been pitching and knowing Joan Duran's there in the bullpen waiting for just the opportunity to get after his old mates, and it all was pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered after that.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I think somebody might throw it out there in the conversation amongst friends, but is Aaron Nola in your starting rotation in the playoffs? I say no. No. As great as this start was, this doesn't make up for another terrible year. It certainly doesn't. If I had to make a prediction, I think Rob Thompson finds a way for him to start in the postseason. I think he finds that way. I don't think Aaron Nola's going to the bullpen. I don't think he's going to be starting game 1 for you by any means. That would just be a crime against baseball humanity. But if it's me, no thanks. I don't trust him. I don't trust him even a little bit. So that's the way I see that playing out. Or the prediction does not match the desire. The desire is to not pitch him as a starter. The prediction is he will pitch as a starter. So those, unfortunately, don't match up at the moment. When we come back, we're going to walk through your comments here on this Phillies victory tonight as they get the 3-1 victory over the Minnesota Twins, and they pick up their 95th win of the season. All that more when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. And how about right now I tell you about Prize Picks? This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, by the way. Every day we make decisions on, games, everyday life, whatever it might be. Well, how about making some money when it comes to those decisions? Make money off your takes. Playing Prize Picks is so much fun, simple, and it also adds a little bit more excitement to football season, for instance. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And, man, if they roll in, just enjoy the prizes. Love how quick it is. You can set your lineup in under a minute. Favorite part of Prize Picks is just adding how the added stacks you could get in on all the action with that. So download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app. Once again, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. And now let me tell you about FanDuel. NFL season upon us, and FanDuel is making sure you're getting ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. Love using FanDuel because really however you like to bet, they got it covered. Player props, same game parlays, even jumping in on live action as all of it unfolds. Makes every game that much more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, it's the best way to add a little bit more energy to your game days. So what are you waiting for? Head to FanDuel.com to download the app. That's FanDuel.com. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. And if it hits, $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app at FanDuel.com. Mentioned the lineup earlier. Harrison Bader, the one hit he had today was the infield single he beat out, which is pretty awesome. Kyle Schwarber came up with a base knock in the first inning. Bryce Harper had a hit as well. That put Kyle Schwarber on third base with a single to the left center field gap. Thought Bryce was going to try to stretch it out into two. He did not. Then you also saw Alec Bohm come up with a base knock. Brandon Marsh, JT Realmuto. Good to see him get a hit tonight. It amounted to nothing, unfortunately, but still good to see him get a hit. Nick Castellanos, the 0 for Bryson Stott, the 0 for, and Edmundo Sosa, 2 hits today, including his career-high 11th home run of the season. Nola, you see the numbers there, 90 pitches to get through his 8-inning affair. That's how that went, and Joan Duran did get that for a third out. I guess I was a little quick on the snipping tool there. But he did get all 3, so there you go. Let's get into the chat check and see how wonderful people are doing on this fine, fine evening. What's going on? There we go. Morgan Landy, of course, the 9-hole hitter breaks up the perfect game. Either way, great showing for Nola. Absolutely, I agree. Jess Patrick, this is the Nola we need. Need for more from him in October. He gets the opportunity. I'll cross my fingers. Awesome start for Nola. Jess Patrick, 6-2. Marlins over the Mets in a 6. What is it now? That's had to have come to a close by now, no? Marlins 6-2 over the New York Metropolitans. Oh, this is too much fun. Oh, drink their tears. Good, solid baseball by a great ball club. There you go, Jess Patrick. How about that? Aaron Nola is good at baseball. Joseph Grillo, look at that. How about it, huh? Bam, man, I feel good about a win. Honestly, I'm freaking out about the bats. Yeah, this is why we have trust issues. I'm not going to say, you're not going to make me repeat it every show. I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. By the way, so the Mets are down 6-2 right now. The Reds are up 2-1 on the Brew Crew. With nobody out and runners at the corners. Oh, let's go Reds. Let's go Red Stockings. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. Kena, hello. Phillies 1, Marlins up. There we go. Yeah, Philly and 8. Little worried about Duran's command. Here's the thing. I want his command to be a little bit off. Because these guys gear up to swing away. And I don't like him putting the ball over the plate. Like, obviously, you don't want him missing and putting the ball over the plate. But, like, him being a little bit wild can help him right now. And I don't think he was that wild tonight. I think he got squeezed, to say the least. As did Aaron Nola and did Ryan, by the way, as well. Ken, are you going to get some of those overalls that Mrs. Yeager has, Trevino's third grade teacher, that she was wearing? I did think they were pretty sick. I did think those were pretty awesome overalls, but that was great. Ken, P.S. That home plate umpire was horrible. I concur. Mark C. Mark, props to Aaron Nola. Duran kind of making me a little uneasy. Making us all a little uneasy, unfortunately. White Sox just blew an 8-1 lead. White Sox are going to White Sox. Am I right? Am I right? Oh, they won 10-9 over the Nationals. Meh. Evelyn. Well, that's the best I've seen Nola in a while. Did you see the sweet moment with Trevino? I did. That was so awesome. Chris Moore, can't wait for robo-umps. Neither can I. Bueller will piggyback off Nola is probably how Topper does it. I agree. Bandman 100, if that's my prediction, Matt, yes, I agree with you on that. Tommy Shrove, oh, Casty. Duran needs a change-up. How about that? Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. All right, I will be back with you guys tomorrow. It is an earlier start time tomorrow, by the way. The Reds just got a run, so now they're up 3-1. The Mets are still trailing 6-2 in the top of the ninth inning in Miami with 2 outs, so they're looking to close that one out. Reds up 3-1. Let's go Reds, hon. But as for tomorrow, Philadelphia Phillies are back at it against the Minnesota Twins for their second-to-last game of the season. The Phillies right now sitting on 95 wins. It's a 6:05 start time tomorrow, and wait till you get a load of this one, folks. Ranger Suarez gets the start against Mick Abel, our old friend. That's how that works. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow after that game. Again, 6:05 start time. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your day. Until then, go Phils.